Welcome back to the Verdict Zone. Today's case hits close to home for millions of families. It's about the hardest conversation parents face: when and how to talk to their kids about sex. We're calling this one the Talk Takedown. Meet our submitter. Let's call her Karen, 42. She's married to David, 46. They have a 15-year-old daughter. Let's call her Emma. Emma is deep in the teenage years. Hormones are raging. Questions are bubbling. Curiosity is natural. And Karen wants to be the one Emma comes to with those questions. Karen describes herself as a modern parent. She believes in open, honest conversations about sexuality. She wants Emma to feel comfortable. She wants her to be informed. She wants her to be safe. David. He's more conservative. He believes that talking about sex with a 15-year-old is inappropriate. He's worried it will arouse her curiosity and make her want to have sex earlier. Karen and David have fought about this repeatedly. David has told Karen that she's undermining his authority and putting their daughter in harm's way. Karen sees it differently. She believes that the best thing for Emma is to get accurate information from a trusted source, not from friends, not from the internet, not from trial and error. She's not wrong. Studies consistently show that comprehensive sex education leads to healthier relationships, later sexual debut, and fewer risky behaviors. Knowledge isn't a trigger, it's a shield. But David isn't coming from a place of malice. He's coming from a place of fear. He loves his daughter. He wants to protect her innocence. He just has a different idea of what protection looks like. Despite David's objections, Karen continued the conversations. She answered Emma's questions. She made sure Emma knew she could come to her with anything. When David found out, he was furious. He felt disrespected. He felt his concerns were ignored. He felt like his role as a father was being erased. Now Karen comes to us with a simple question: am I the asshole for discussing sexuality openly with my daughter, against my husband's wishes? The Verdict Zone is now in session. Let's break this down from both sides. The case for Karen, a 15-year-old, is old enough for honest conversations about sexuality. Puberty doesn't wait for parental comfort. Kids will get information somewhere. Would you rather it come from a trusted parent, or from TikTok and misinformed friends? Karen's approach is backed by research. Open communication leads to safer, healthier choices. David's ignorance is protection approach is outdated and potentially dangerous. The case for David: parenting is a partnership. Major decisions should be made together. Karen continued conversations, knowing David strongly objected. That's a breach of trust in the marriage. David's concerns, even if you disagree with them, come from love and a desire to protect his daughter. By going behind his back, Karen created a good cop, bad cop dynamic that could drive a wedge between Emma and her father. This isn't just about sex education, it's about marriage. It's about how two people with different values navigate parenting together. Karen isn't wrong to want Emma informed, but the way she handled it continuing without David's buy-in created a rift that could have long-term consequences for their marriage and for Emma's relationship with her father. Here's the thing about parenting: when parents are divided, kids get confused. Emma is 15. She's smart enough to sense the tension. She might even feel guilty, like she's the reason her parents are fighting. So what should Karen have done? Option 1. Find neutral ground. Instead of going behind David's back, Karen could have said, let's find a compromise. Let's talk to a pediatrician together. Let's read research together. Let's find a way that honors both our concerns. Option 2. Bring in a third party. A family counselor. A trusted doctor. Even a book they both read. Sometimes parents need an outside voice to break the deadlock. Option 3. Respect the fear, but address the facts. David's fear is real. Karen could acknowledge that while still presenting evidence that openness leads to safety. But here's the hard truth. David's approach silence and avoidance doesn't work. Kids whose parents never talk about sex don't wait until marriage. They just learn about it from sources that might not have their best interests at heart. Now, we need you, the jury. Comment below. Type inform if you think Karen was right to prioritize her daughter's education over her husband's discomfort. Type partnership if you think Karen should have stopped until they could agree as a team. Type compromise if you think they need to find middle ground together. Bonus question. Type outdated if David needs to update his views on sex education. Type disrespected if Karen crossed a line by going behind his back. Use hashtag verdict zone so we can feature your take. Before we go, here's a moral judgment to think about. There's an old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. But in this case, it takes two parents who can find common ground. Karen's heart is in the right place. She wants her daughter to be safe, informed, and empowered. That's not just good parenting. That's love in action. David's heart is also in the right place. He wants to protect his little girl from growing up too fast. That's also love in action. The problem isn't their intentions. It's their inability to bridge the gap. Here's the truth. A 15-year-old girl is already thinking about sex. Whether her parents talk about it or not, the thoughts are there. The questions are there. The curiosity is there. The choice isn't between talk and no talk. The choice is between talk with us and talk with someone else. Karen understands that. David needs to understand it too. And Karen needs to understand that bulldozing past David's concerns isn't partnership, it's unilateral action. And unilateral action in a marriage always leaves scars. They need to get on the same page. Not because one is right and one is wrong, but because Emma deserves parents who are united in their love for her, even when they disagree. What do you think? Check out more stories like this on the Verdict Zone. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can be the judge in our next case. See you next time. And remember, the talk isn't one conversation, it's 1,000 small ones. Make sure your kids hear it from you together.